I hope that you are all being fabulous this delightful Wednesday morning. I am certainly feeling fabulous. I just got done over on the Dead Aussie Gamer channel, where we are currently facing Strahd. I essentially, in the last move that I did, I essentially took a baseball to Strahd's head and then kneecapped him, and thought that I was doing good, and am now currently in just being held up with one of Strahd's hands, just like as he's just chomping right now. So that's super fun. That's happening to me over there. Now I get to do terrible things to my players. Yay.
Yeah. Oh, such retaliation. Thanks, Dag. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes, it is all Dag's fault, 100%. But let us start by mentioning our fabulous sponsor, Hero Forge. We love you. If you want to level up your character art game, because like me, you have no artistic ability, Hero Forge is the way to go. You can take whatever's in here in like 10 minutes, put it out into the real world in gorgeous 3D, and if you fall in love with your character, you can even have it created by Hero Forge and sent to you as a little mini. It is glorious. I adore them. If you want to see examples of Hero Forge art, you can just look behind our fabulous players and see all kinds of it. Absolutely. These were all created by the players themselves, because you can do anything in Hero Forge. It's absolutely glorious. And with that, I'd like to hear from Malik. Malik, what happened to you last week?
Oh boy. So we got to Elysium. Malik met a lot of people in Delver's Dream who he had not met before. Let's see. There was... oh, geez. I think Malik was mostly a spectator through last week. We watched the entire thing with the Thuls, bet a lot of stuff at the various temples. We realized that, hey, our Lich buddy was doing fine and had her need to eat souls functionally cured. She got given a workaround for that by Moradin. We talked to Moradin about a lot of stuff, most of it very worrying. We managed to get Kilnazi's phylacteries destroyed / unbound from her soul. So at the very least, she's mortal for what comes next.
I mean, we think she is.
Well,
we hope she is.
Hopefully. I am relying on Hunter's Harvest having not done another horrible thing to Kilnazi that acts as a power-up.
Like turn her into a fucking solar.
No,
yeah.
we didn't.
Yeah,
we didn't.
Love the inter-party conflict.
Just like when they first
What did they do
collide.
this time? God damn it. Absolutely. And the best part is that you have a person that is two characters, one in each of the parties.
Yeah.
I will say in Dirax's defense is that he did not significantly contribute to the Solar thing.
No, but you did significantly contribute to ruining Warforged.
No, that was totally it. No, that was 100%. But,
For those of you who did not see that episode of Hunter's Harvest, Diraxus used his planar touchstone, which allows him to alter something based on the golden ratio, either increase it by 60% or reduce it by 40%. He reduced some of the cogs in the Warforged by like 40% and didn't realize that became a universal truth because of the power of his touchstone. So every Warforged in the multiverse is now doesn't know why, but they don't work right anymore.
Yeah.
Well, that crippled one part of her forces. Good job.
Yeah, but it was a whole other race of
good time.
people.
There are a lot of Warforged in Eberron going in for emergency maintenance at the moment.
Yeah.
I
The
feel
price
like
of
Eberron,
gears.
like the entire world of Eberron is just like
In
all
shambles.
all the repair places are just lines like miles long, and
The
they're all like,
real
"What the hell
the-
happened?"
The real reason for the end of the last war and the explosion of Sire, just whatever warforge they had on the nuclear weapon controls, as it were, all the gears went down in size, interlock stopped working properly, boom, down one country.
Yeah, absolutely,
Oh,
absolutely. I'm glad that you're contributing now to the official lore. Lando, good job.
I did my best.
Another badge, another pin.
I'm really excited about that. Do you know what else I'm really excited about?
Phoenix Dice.
Phoenix Dog!
Yeah!
Everybody, everybody in chat, go hit Phoenix Dice. Hit exclamation point raffle if you wouldn't mind, so that you can join the raffle to get fabulous Phoenix Dice. And remember, Phoenix Dice loves the world we live in just as much as all the worlds we play in, which is why they make everything from recycled materials. And if you win, you get to pick any set of Phoenix Dice that you want. That's right, any and all of them. I am very excited for this. Now, I am super happy to say that I love you all. Thank you for being here. You are just, it just makes me so happy that like there's so many people. Like, I feel like there's at least like 30 people in the TTRPG space that if I went and said, hey, what do you remember from the first week of season 2, they would be able to answer that question.
Oh, yeah.
There's I just want to say thank you so much for being so dedicated to the Planar Allies space and just being here and being supportive. You guys are amazing. And with that, hey, Gorf, what the hell happened to you last week?
We went to the Heaven Place, talked to a couple gods. I can't remember what. Malik asked for something. Bro asked for something. I didn't ask for something because I'm not rude. I just asked if we had a chance. And oh yeah, Thule is ASMR now as well.
Oh, yeah, that did happen.
We gambled with the god, or he gambled with the god, which was kind of cool. Oh yeah, we saw Corton again. He's not unconscious, so that's good. And then we brought back Delver's Dream to our plane. I think a better place for it, probably.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's definitely, if Delbert's Dream is going to be anywhere, it should probably be
where it belongs. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, 100%. And I would like to mention some of our other fabulous sponsors. First off, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. If you like D&D and you like the main setting of D&D, which is the Forgotten Realms, you will love Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, a fabulous mobile game where you can play, guess what? Champions of the Forgotten Realms. That's right.
Woo!
Now, my
Solid.
personal favorite is Jarlaxle, because Jarlaxle has a fabulous hat. It is important to have a fabulous hat when you are adventuring. If you don't have a fabulous hat, I'm sorry, hold on.
Okay.
If you don't have a fabulous hat, then you're not a real adventurer.
That's true.
I understand. It's going to get me canceled. I know that we're now going to have a war on Twitter about your fabulous hat.
If you want proof of
Any
that,
plan where you don't have a great hat, bad plan.
No, it's
By
bad
default.
plan. See, you need to get to the haberdasher. Okay? You need to get to the milliner, right? This is what you need to do. And while you're there, check out the code that is attached to the Idle Champions logo down at the bottom of the screen. You can use that code to get an Electrum chest in-game, which will get you all kinds of loot, maybe fabulous hat. And with that, I would like to know what the hell happened with Crow. Hey, Crow.
Hi! So, after once again bringing destruction to Jarsai, as we do when we join town, we have to decide to clean up after ourselves. With Gore's help, I deconstructed an entire rock. I got a bee, got some eyes, feathers. I gave him some talons because I know he's gonna come up with some ungodly weapon with them. Can't wait to see him.
I'm sorry, hold on. I forgot, and when you said I deconstructed an entire rock, I was like, I don't remember you sitting there with like a little pick. Like, what did you? What? What are you talking? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know, deconstruct a chicken. Just gotta, defeathered, pluck the wings, made it all nice and ready for a bunch of rock nuggets. It was great. And then we spoke of the devil, and his brother Corton showed up. And then we went to Celestia. I tried some Celestian brew. It did not agree with me at all. I ended up actually talking to Morden and getting some badass fucking scale mail made from that hollow dragon that is very dead right now. I'm trying to keep it that way. So like, there was all over the realms. Make sure that they're not gonna get back together. But yeah. So now I have some badass armor that basically devours radiant damage and it's light as hell. So no more disadvantage on stealth rolls. Let's go.
Yay! I love it. There is absolutely. That's right. Now, let's talk about the most important part, which is if you want our characters to survive,
Oh boy.
you can help. You, chat, can help. Anything you do that helps the stream also helps the players. That is correct. There are all kinds of fabulous things that you can do with your ally points, which you get just by watching the stream. You can help them out with advantage and other delightful things. And now you can also do things when you sub or when you throw bits. And if we get a hype train, they get amazing things. So feel free to help out our characters today. And by helping them out, help out Playnerd allies and our partner, the Foundation for Inclusivity in Gaming. And with that, shall we play some D&D? Some D&D.
I think we could, you know,
D&D.
if we have to. I mean,
if you don't.
The Clockwork Planet, the Patchwork Planet isn't going to save itself.
If you don't want to, I can just, have Moradin step on you, and then, then
I mean, if he's into that, I'm going to be opposed.
Absolutely. Let's play some D&D.
Let's go.
All right, let's go.
Our adventurers are feeling good after their jaunt to Celestia. They have brought back an entire city with them and another planar touchstone, which they have given to the fabulous Calyx, who is one of the most powerful clerics on the Patchwork Planet. Well, thank you so much for the bits, Cotton Candy Unicorn. The players now have a +2. That's right, that you can use to improve a roll as you see fit. They have come back, bringing an entire city and a planar touchstone with them. The planar touchstone seems to be in the right hands, as it will take an enormous amount of concentration to keep it from blasting everyone around them. So Calyx has left the situation in order to go and meditate in the back of the temple for the foreseeable future. in order to keep the powers of that touchstone in check. Corton has entered their fabulous tower and has not been seen by anyone since. What would you like to do?
All right. Well, it looks like we got one thing sorted out. Anything you guys need done before we hit the hay? Apparently, Corton has a lot for us to do tomorrow.
I mean, honestly, I think we've handled the stuff we need to do before we hit the hay, and I'm going to be real. I feel like we should get a pretty solid night's sleep before everything going to hell.
Yeah.
Probably.
He did not sound. He did not sound the most joyful about tomorrow's events. He really made it on as if he knew this was like the end for him specifically. And I would just want to can we just work together and make sure that's not happening? I know that he's a problematic dude. He kind of grinds a lot of our gears a lot of times. Gets after us. But for what it's worth, he's a good guy, and I would like to not see him dead.
Yeah, that would be ideal.
Well, thank you for the advantages, everybody. From
thank you.
Cotton Candy Unicorn.
Yeah,
Crow,
thank you.
you and Corp both have advantage.
Solid.
So, in accordance with whatever plans he gives us, secondary plan, don't let Corton die.
Yeah,
That would be good. Yeah.
that would definitely be preferred for sure.
Let's see if you can manage it.
Well, before I end up going to bed, I'm actually going to read up. See if this tome has any other secrets that we might be able to use before, heading straight to Noncash and taking on Kilnasi head on. We got this, right? We got this.
Hope so.
Yeah, Morden said you're capable. Like, it wasn't outside of the realm of possibility. Guess that's good enough for me.
What about you, Malik? Please say something confidently. I'm
Malik,
being honest here. I'm on
Going to
the
be real,
edge
I'm
of a
a bit
panic
low
attack.
on confidence, but
Ugh.
we've crushed everything else that's come our way on this one. And for what it's worth, I'm sure we can pull out the win tomorrow.
Yeah.
Absolutely. As you all head to your apartments, you see that there's some sort of tension throughout Delver's Dream. But rest is paramount at this point. And you sleep gently, softly, and prepare yourself. You may each mark a long rest on your character sheets.
Woo, baby.
And Athul's on his way.
Nice.
Oh,
Well, Athul just got advantage, so that is glorious.
excellent.
Ah.
Thank
You hit the
Cotton
ground
Candy
running.
Unicorn for giving advantage to everyone. I'm sure we're going to need it.
Now, you wake and you see the doors of the mine are closed. This is the first time that anyone has seen this since the first group entered Delver's Dream and feared it, of the demons and the devils that had taken up residence. You see a crowd around the front of the enormous adamantine gates, carved with the face of Bandoth, noble fury. What would you like to do?
There he
Gonna
is.
check out the crowd, see what everyone's waiting for, or trying to get done, or whatever's happening here.
Absolutely. As you approach, you see that the goblins that normally guard the way from the first level down to the second level have created a perimeter in front of the gate. And the people that have the population of Delver's Stream has boomed over the last several months. They're partially because of all of the dwarves, partially because of the orcs that have set up camp, the Dreamers, who have been constantly inviting more orcs to join their ranks. But also, there have been many small shops and tents set up throughout Delver's Dream to take advantage of the fact that there is now so much traffic moving through here. It seems that everyone who has taken up residence on the surface has been barred from entry to Delver's Dream itself.
Hey, has anyone seen Corton around?
The goblins all look at you, and they sort of look at each other, and they're whispering back and forth. But are they the ones that we're supposed to read it? Is that the one? Is that the one that looks like a dragon? And then there's one that's a bear, and then there's one with the. And we can. Is that them? Is that we supposed to let them through? And they just keep talking amongst themselves, like trying to figure out what is going on.
Hey, buddies. Yeah, it's probably us. We're the ones that cleared the mine, remember?
Yeah.
Remember?
And one of the things that you notice, because you haven't really looked at, you haven't really chatted with the goblins much recently, is that they are wearing really nice clothes.
Oh, damn.
They
are
fancy now.
That's some good duds.
They look good. Like the guards are in really nice armor. Everyone else is like in really nice clothes. You see a goblin gentleman in straight up with a monocle and a top hat.
Solid.
Just holding up like a teacup with their pinky extended, and they're like, "We learned how to be fancy. We do that.
Good job. You're really pulling it off.
Amazing.
Excellent.
And then that goblin turns around and then pees in the cup, and then throws it on the ground. And like, see, we don't fear the corner no more.
Yeah, baby steps, baby steps.
Perfect.
We'll call it progress.
Yeah.
So you're can we get a situation report on what's going on here?
Yeah, why are the doors closed?
Hold on, real quick before that. I just want to welcome Athul. Athul's here. Yay!
Hello.
Yeah, so
Sorry about that.
Our ASMR friend.
So what has happened so far is you've taken a nap, and you've taken a long rest. You get a long rest on your character sheet, and we are now the way into the mine has been barred by all of the goblins who have become fancy goblins. And
I
just
like where this is going.
above table, the goblins have become fancy because the people of Delver's Dream have invested in their community, and they have in fact created educational complexes and things like that. So now the goblins are full citizens of Delver's Dream and part of the aristocracy, since they have been here for hundreds of years. The goblins look around and they make the decisions like, oh yeah, it's yeah, you're the one with the face arms. You have the face arms. Yes, we do. And these are four good to go in. And so they allow just the four of you in, and then everybody else has to stay out. And you see rows of goblins down the hundreds and hundreds of feet of the entrance to the mines, pointing everybody who is coming towards the room of diplomacy.
Ah, all right.
War time,
Well.
baby.
Yeah, let's head on over.
Yeah.
As you enter, you see that the giant mithril table that typically provides heroes' feasts to anybody that sits down has been shoved to one side, and chairs have been set up throughout. At the front, you see Corton, and filling the chairs one by one, you see representatives from everyone in the mine. You see, well, Ingrath is not sitting down in one of the chairs because she's now too large, but there is, she is over in the corner observing. Bandoff is there, Dryads, Diadem is there. You see representatives from the halls of magic, from the halls of stealth, from the halls of might, from the halls of industry. You also see representatives, you see the Florid over in the corner. You see representatives for the goblins, for the hags, for the dragons that now reside here in Delver's Dream. And you see many old friends. You see Karhani and Relic. You see Glatry is here. Everyone who is participating in the mine seems to be here, waiting to find out what is going on. Will you take a seat, or would you like to do something else?
Yeah, take a seat.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure there will be like a big presentation where what's going on will be explained. I'll take a seat.
I'll like lean over and like ask Ingress, who called this meeting actually? Was it like Corton, or was it like was it your brother, or?
Ingrath looks down and it was Corton after we all came back. He definitely wanted to make sure that we all knew what was about to happen. So
Do you know already? Could you enlighten us?
I don't.
Ah,
But, well, look around the room, see what people are holding. And as you stare around, you see that many of the people are holding like envelopes that look like they have like a letter in them with their name embossed on them. And as you see this, Corton begins to speak at the front of the room. Hello, everyone. I'm, as you know, not terribly impressive as a public speaker. But I wanted you all to understand what's coming. Each of you has been given a letter. It is magically sealed. It will unseal the moment I am dead. If that doesn't come to pass, then you have a lovely keepsake with your name on it. If it does come to pass, you have instructions. You look around and you see like a few people, like especially like the hags, are definitely trying to pry this thing open to see what it says beforehand. Corton says, I would ask forcefully that everyone remain inside Delver's Dream for the next 24 hours. Those who choose to leave, we cannot protect. There are some changes coming. But we have prepared well. And Delver's dream may well be spared. For those of you who wish to know more, all I can say is wait until the letter opens. Or pray to your various deities and see if they will tell you. Now, I have much to prepare, and not much time to make the journey. Are there any questions? Yes.
Why are you so certain that your death is a high possibility here? I mean, I guess it's a given that death is a high possibility for everyone who's about to go on this journey, but you seem quite secure in your demise here.
We've never faced, none of us have ever faced anything like what we are about to experience. There is absolutely no certainty, except that things will change. I want to make sure that everyone is prepared. That is all.
Of course. You know what they say, which is always prepared.
Any other questions?
Just a promise, for my part at least, that I'll do everything I can to make sure that your death doesn't come to pass, and that these letters remain keepsakes.
That is very kind of you, Crow. You hear a sort of rumbling from next to you, and Bandoth, the Dwarven King, just, good Lord, can we just get on with this, please? Corton, when do I get my goddamn throne back?
Is that the only thing you care about right now, Vandalf?
Yes. My job is to keep my people safe.
Then the least you could do is acknowledge that for all of his many idiosyncrasies, that Corton has done a bang-up job in doing that for you.
Oh, well, maybe Corton.
If you're ready, sir.
Look up and begin to be like, just, Corton, dear, what if we sent just one of my sisters away? That would be fine, yes. I feel like that should be fine.
So,
And,
sorry, you cut off. Who said that?
one of the hags.
Yeah,
Oh, the
one
hag.
of
Oh,
the
the
hags.
hags. Okay.
Yeah,
There's and as she does, Corton just looks down at her and it's just like, ugh. Why do you always have to complicate everything? Can't for once you just enjoy being in a place where you can destroy as many lives as you want without any repercussions. And the hags just say, fine, Corton. It's fine. Suppose it'll be fine. They just sit there and pout for a little bit.
We're just gonna lean over to Crow and be like, don't think it's fine.
Yeah. Good eye, buddy.
There's the hag, one of the hags sort of like turns around and winks at Gorf and it's just like, how's your brother?
Shut up. He's gonna like, shut up, we're having a meeting.
Eloquent.
Oh,
You're being rude.
Like, well said, Gorf. Do any of you have any other questions for Corton?
let's see. What's our broad plan? Like, yeah, overall, you're doing your thing, and we're going to be engaging Kilnasi, basically, unless that is also something you would like us to change in this plan. Which is not.
Oh no. We're going to take her out.
Okay, still on the plan. Are there any other big overarching things we need to be aware of before we start executing that?
I'll have that discussion with you as soon as we're done with the group here.
Makes sense. Let's see.
Nobody else seems to have any questions. Everyone is still sort of wondering what the hell is going on.
Mm-hmm.
But Corton just says, hold on to these letters. And hopefully I will see you soon.
Quick question, Corton. Where's everybody else from the Prismatic Slay at?
Well, Peregrine is here. Gorax is dead. It looks like Tara is still chasing down that child that appeared after we defeated Gorax. Calyx is in the temple. And the other members of the Prismatic Slay, I simply don't know. I've been a little busy to try to track them all down, though my assumption is that they've found places of power for themselves around this world, given that when we arrived, we were easily the most powerful people. Are you looking for anyone in particular?
No, just in case we needed to ask any of them for help.
Believe me, if I could have gotten in contact with them, I would have. Anything else? No? Keep the letters close. And with that, Corton strides out of the room and just crooks a finger at the four of you.
Stands up and makes my way over.
Yep.
Yeah.
Follow.
As you follow him, the giant adamantine doors open. Apparently, this was the reason that everyone else was kept out. He wanted only representatives from the various factions in Delver's Dream. As you continue to try to follow him, you see Bandoth in a rage come running out of the room, grab Corton, spin him around, and say, "When do I get my fucking throne back, you bastard? You took the throne and the touchstone right before we came back. I want it. If you're gonna die, you better give me back my throne."
Then come with us and fight.
He just looks at you. You're so young and so dumb And you have no idea what's about to happen, do ya?
No, because
Well,
no
we
one will
would
tell
like
us.
to fill us in. We would appreciate it.
And
There's
despite
Corton
everything,
Corton just looks around at everyone. It's like, oh my god. It's just about to. And
All
then
right.
the little man here decided he needed to interrupt us. Corton, quicker than you thought he could move, just plucks the letter out of Bandoth's hand and just starts smacking him in the face with it. He's like, it's all in the letter. Leave me alone. And then hands the letter back to Bandoth, who just is like frothing at the mouth. He's so angry. Just little bits of spittle forming, just rage in his eyes. And he just stomps off back towards the 4th level of the mine.
you know, for a king, you're a really, really small man. Just
That's
like
normal. That's
minuscule.
very normal for
Yeah,
royalty.
that's
The
normal.
enormous ego and like inability to take things graciously. That's incredibly normal for royalty. I'm like 80% sure it's a qualifying factor. What makes you inheritance? That or the ability to murder your siblings.
Ooh, yes. Yes,
This
that
thing,
was really
Ingress,
important.
is a lich.
Reminds me of this book I read once called A Song of Ice and Fire. Lots of people died.
Oh, get out of here with that.
I think you meant to say a song in Frost and Flame, but you know, get confused all the time.
Now, Corton, now that the mine has been opened back up, the crowd is sort of dispersing as people head down to the market or to the temples. Corton moves through them over to his study and invites you all in. He sits down. Well, do you see this bookshelf over here?
Yeah, it's impressive.
You notice that it's almost empty. There's like 3 books on it.
Yes,
Think
very
it
impressive.
stands.
Well, last night, as I was penning these letters that I handed out, all of the books on this bookshelf disappeared.
Did someone borrow them?
The only thing I can think is that Kilnasi took them back. They were her notes for the last 1,000 years, which I have been studying. All about the planar touchstones, all about her experiments, all about the altar that she created that has allowed her to generate the huge armies that she now controls. And her plans. The reason she's doing all of this. It's something that I have been preparing for as well, but I thought honestly I was the only one that knew. It's time for you to find out exactly what we will be facing and exactly why. Are you prepared?
Prepared as ever.
Prepared as
Oh.
I can.
Also, I'm not sure if you've read through these notes before, but assuming that they could be of use, I hand the tome that has all the information about the my brain has turned all the way off and I forgot the name of the player touchstone.
The orcs, the
Yeah.
necromancers.
Yeah. Yeah, the necropolis.
Yes. Oh, yes. He starts flipping through it as he's sort of like speed reading. He gets to, I didn't know that. That's quite interesting. Huh. Oh, Yes, of course. Of course, that's where we ended up. Very interesting. Very interesting.
Now I feel like I should have brought this to you sooner. Shit, I'm sorry.
Well, it might have been helpful. All right. To do what we must do today, I'm going to need a little bit of help. He claps his hands, and you hear a little gong sort of toll. And then a few moments later, there is a knock at the door. He waves his hand, and the door opens. And you see Cartle, the gnome from Gehenna, step inside with Relic. Cartle steps in and says, oh, yeah, no, so we finished it, so that's nice. So, yeah, I think it's great that we're going to be able to do this. I think this is going to be fun. I think this is going to be really interesting. I don't know if I've got all the controls exactly right, but I'm really excited to try. So thank you all for agreeing to do this.
You're welcome.
Everyone.
What do we agree to do again?
Corton looks at all of you. You've agreed to utilize the memory of Nemesine, the touchstone, and the orrery of the Wanderer together to help us find exactly what we will need to destroy Kilnasi. Yes.
Yes, yeah, I agree to that. Guys, right? We agreed?
Yep. Here we go.
So,
You see Relic put his arm inside an opening in the orrery that seems like it was created, almost like a key. And you see the orrery immediately just begin to spin around faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. You see Cartle just working with knobs, trying to figure out exactly what's going to be happening here and how to control it. He's like, so this works most of the time. Okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to do it. It's going to be great. And as he fiddles with the knobs, it sort of slows down a little, then a little more, until it's sort of just gently rolling through all its permutations. Okay, all right, okay, I think we're good. And Corton, what was the one? Corton looks over at him and says, the memory of when we were on the diplomatic mission to Nanked after the night market, the day that Kilnasi first appeared. And Cartle says, oh, yeah, okay, great. He works some knobs. And Corton waves his hand, and the carpet that was underneath all of you suddenly disappears. And you see that you are all in the center of a huge mystical circle. As the orrery begins to spin, the circle lights. You feel yourself taken out of yourself, and it's like you are being dragged against an incredible wind. As the memory of Nemesine makes the memory of meeting Kilnasi for the first time a reality for you, for all of you. You are suddenly in the grand throne room of Nanked. Columns, beautiful and carved balconies set up with courtiers. and Kilnasi the Eighth on the throne, the direct descendant of the Lich Queen that you know now. You see Goru standing next to Peregrine and to Corton. Tara leaning up against one of the columns, her red hair tumbling down her back. You find yourselves standing as part of the retinue of this diplomatic mission from Balan. Kilnasi the Eighth rises and says, well, I simply don't understand why it is incumbent upon non-Ted to give up anything at all. Why is it so important that Baland be allowed to monitor our borders? Have we done something to alarm you about something? Or maybe you're simply a vile racist against the shifters. Gorf, you find yourself responding as Goru. Tell me, what do they say to this?
Real quick above table, did you speak about shifters instead of changelings? Or did you mean?
Did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, technically there are shifters there, but
There's yes.
Speaking as Goru, okay, hold on. Oh,
Ooh, gotta dig deep.
okay.
Diplomatic, and fabulous. Here we go.
All right. No, but you must know that the Civil War has ravaged the land, and we want to make sure that you are able to continue to maintain control of your land.
Do you think me weak?
Of course not, of course not. We would just lift some of the pressure from your infrastructure and provide assistance
You
so
would
that you could
install a
transition.
military complex on non-Cadian land, is what you would do.
Of course not. Our troops need not enter the country. Actually, above table, I have no idea if that's actually what was being proposed, but you know.
What's you have no idea about?
Oh well, what they're actually asking or saying that they should do, or it sounds like monitor the borders, which
So
doesn't
that's
necessarily
why-
mean go in.
That's why this is improv, my dear. You are making it up as you go along. That's so let me be clear, everyone in chat. I would like you to know, this is not a scripted show.
Hi.
Just FYI.
PSA. This is not scripted in any way, shape, or form.
Yes. So we are improvising here, generating a story just for you right here on the spot. So yes.
Wouldn't you know?
So yes, there is so is that what you were planning?
Yeah, just to monitor the borders.
To monitor the borders from our side of the border, apparently.
I mean
Or
that
did you forget where those were?
we only wish to provide assistance to aid you with the infrastructure as the transition from the Civil War it takes time. We do not wish you to be on your own, so to speak, as you recover.
On our own. Are we so delicate? I mean, for God's sake. Look at you. You're about 3 lunches away from having shit in the woods, bear. How dare you come in here and try to speak to me as an equal? I want to speak to your father. the actual council member. Where is he?
Where in the timeline is this?
This is actually when when you guys, if you recall,
I'm trying to
when
remember
you came
exactly.
back from Arboria
Okay.
and you escaped all of the Thrykeen to get back.
That's right. Okay, so this is pre.
This is right then. This is when, for those of you who haven't seen this part of it, this is from season 1. So yes, that is where you are.
So pre-cancellation of Our Father.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. I lost track of what you said last. I apologize.
Kilnasi the Eighth has been very dismissive of you and very rude and pretty racist against
No,
bears.
I got that.
So,
And then
that
she was
the last
basically
thing
like, "Where's your dad?"
Where's your dad? I want to speak to the actual council
Yeah.
member.
Malik, I want to know, did you appear as one of the major players or as a minor player in this memory?
I think Malik has appeared as a minor player in this memory.
Fabulous. As one of the scribes on the side, Kilnasi the Eighth looks over at you. At least you look like you can read, which is more than I can say for this bear here. You! Tell me, where exactly was this supposed to be?
Oh, I believe that only the delegate Goru can speak to the official nature of such things. I have a record of it, which I can read from, but this only contains his statement.
I believe that would be quite acceptable here, don't you think?
All right. So, as the delegate said, the post would be near the border for the purpose of watching it to ensure mutual territorial integrity during this time of relative chaos, as rebuilding from the Civil War continues.
And as you say that, it's as though a cold wind blows through the chamber. And on that wind, you hear a whisper. Where is my crown? Everyone
don't have that in the record.
looks around. Who's doing that? Everybody can make me a perception check if you'd like.
All right.
Perception.
And let's see. Let us see how you do.
Oh,
All right.
My roll 20 evidently never loaded in. Let me see. It's
Gorf,
been
you don't see
hanging
anything.
for.
24. I have advantage.
Oh, you do? Well then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So both Crow and Gorf, you see as soon as the wind blows, Corton tries to hide what's happening. He tries to seem like everything's fine, but you watch him stiffen, stand up a little straighter. Because you got higher than a 21, Crow and Gorf, you also both see Corton beginning to sort of move his lips a little bit and his fingers behind his back. You can see that he is casting a spell.
Can I try to discern what spell it is?
Yes, give me a knowledge arcana.
Nope, that's a 9.
You have no idea.
Mage hand. No worries, I got this.
Kilnasi the Eighth is now looking around the room, and she's... I don't think this is funny at all. Not at all. Who is doing this? And Crow, who did you show up as? A major player or a minor player?
I'd say a major player.
Major player.
Fat and big.
You appeared in this memory as Tara, the Planetaris, the angel of Sune that nobody knows is an angel of Sune yet. As you lounge against the column, what's your reaction to all of this?
A raised eyebrow. Tara looks about the room, trying to discern the location or where this voice comes. I would say that she is probably keen enough to know that some form of arcane craft is being weaved in this moment. The voice does not originate from anyone actually within the space.
Absolutely. You may make me, just using Crow's
Of course.
stats, you may make me either a knowledge religion or a knowledge arcana check.
Okay, let's go Arcana. Let's see if...
And let's see what you know.
A critical!
Damn.
Great.
Yeah! Go Tara.
Very nice.
As this chill wind rolls across your skin, you are very aware, because of your angelic status, that this wind is coming from the Shadowfell. You also know very clearly that there is a very powerful magic user that has just opened something in the vicinity, and that's where the chill air was coming from. It is literally air from the Shadowfell.
After realizing this, she her nonchalance is kind of like sloughs off as she steps forward from the pillar. Gird yourselves. Something wicked this way comes.
Kilnos the Eighth looks at you and is like, "Excuse me? Are you referring to me? How dare you? I will have your head shaved, and I will
Kilnasi!
take a rope to hang you."
You're already here.
Your Highness, if you would please allow me to speak, what is encroaching is far more sinister than you could even pretend to be. I advise you make your forces mobile.
Oh, I will. I will make them mobile.
Oh my god.
Guards, arrest them. Every single one of them. Get them out of here. Thule, have you appeared as a minor player or a major player?
Let's go minor.
You are here as Goru's attaché. You sort of carry their papers and pen and ink and the stamp. You've got a big sort of satchel with you that has all of the official stamps and seals and wax and all of that good stuff with you. As these guards approach and begin to try to manhandle everyone, what are you going to do?
Not being a very big fan of this entire situation to begin with, just feeling just a little bit uncomfortable with the tension, and now that there's this disembodied voice just kind of taunting everyone, he just kind of like grips really tightly to his backpack and just kind of like gets ready to like full on take it off and swing it at the first person that tries to grab him.
As you get ready to do that, you feel Goru's hand on your shoulder. Like, no. Not right now.
Sorry. This is just a really tense situation, and I'm not good at these.
You feel the wind yet again, and the voice is louder. I asked you a question, child. Where is my crown? You hear Kilnasi the Eight. Well, I'm certain that you can't be. Or it can't be referring to me. I'm no child. I am the Empress of Non-Ked. How dare you? What is this trickery? Find out now. She points up to the balconies, and you see all the changelings up there, the courtiers, just start looking around. Many of them just have they're just have no idea what to do. So you see them sort of like picking up their chairs and like sort of looking under like the plants and things around. Goru, guards are approaching. What are you gonna do?
I had Goru's character sheet up. Let's see what.
We can give you if you need. So
What?
This is just a narrative thing. We don't.
Oh, okay. Goru is going to, because at this point he only has a shield, he's gonna pull a shield off his back and just like stare down any of the guards that get too close to him. Be like, just fucking try it.
Okay, so we have just dropped any pretense of diplomacy.
Oh
Right.
God.
This,
Tara
No,
speaks
I
up.
mean,
Max just, like,
she
puts
she
his
did that.
hands up.
She did that already, so I think it's appropriate response.
Tell me, Scribe, what are you going to do?
Hands up! I am not a combatant.
I am not.
I am not part of this.
Listen, I work for
I
my
am
one
taking
silver
no
piece a
threatening
day.
movements.
As soon as you throw your hands up, like the papers that were in them just start sort of flying. It's, like a rain of papers.
Yeah.
Hey, Tara, what are you gonna do?
Now is not the time to be getting at each other's throats. And she kind of like looks around, speaking out to the voice. I know where you originate from. Make yourself known. Who are you?
You hear a very delicate laugh. You'll know very shortly who I am. And what about the attaché? What will you do?
In a similar vein, he's, instead of putting his hands up, just gonna reflexively hide behind Goru.
As all of this is going on, as you see a little bit of chaos in the balconies, as the nobles just have no idea what to do with themselves, you see Kilnasi the Eighth stand up very, very straight. And then you see just a few tears run down her face, and then a little bit of blood. And you watch her eyes start to come out of her skull.
Oh, that's worrying.
You see the two eyes sort of wiggle around a little bit and then get flicked as you see two very sharp nails from very long fingers protruding through the eye sockets. You see another hand rise up, grab her by the neck, and essentially shuck her, tearing through her collarbone, shoulder blades, ribs. And as the bloody remains of Kilnasi VIII fall to the ground, you see the skull move, revealing a beautiful woman. Raven black hair all the way down to her calves. Almondine eyes radiating power. Now holding the skull that she had punched through and the spine of Kilnasi VIII. My name is Kilnasi, first of that line. This empire was mine 1,000 years ago, and I have come back to reclaim it from what was obviously an incompetent descendant. Now, there are a few ways this could go. And she tosses the skull and the spine away, does a little prestidigitation to clean her hands. You can submit and become a glorious part of the New World Order. Or my armies can roll over your countries, forcing the change that you could right now accept. What would you like to do? Goru, this is your diplomatic mission.
This is your
He kind of looks over at Corton and be like, "Do you know anything about her?"
Corton just whispers, "Keep her busy."
Well, it's quite an entrance there. I don't know what the laws here are that, but I suppose you have claim to the throne.
As soon as you say that, you see everyone in the balconies, all the nobles, just sort of look around at each other and just immediately fall to their knees and begin bowing.
Goru's not going to fall to his knees, but he's going to do like whatever kind of bow or whatever kind of reverence he showed to Kilnasi VIII when they came in. He's going to do the same thing.
How civilized. Oh my goodness. I'm glad to see that things have changed since last I was here.
The scribe gathers his papers and quickly goes, Your Majesty, could I get just a full accounting of your titles for the records of the meeting? I'm afraid that I don't have a formal introduction for the transcript.
Of course. Why don't you come here, dear? I shall give you my signature.
All right, he's going to go over. This is as much as he can do to buy time for everyone, so he's going to go over and present the quill and paper and hope this isn't the last thing he does.
This scribe's a trooper, man.
Kilnasi waves her hand, and you see a gorgeous structure appear next to her. To the left of the throne, you see an altar with a huge golden weaving in the center of it that seems to hold a bright blue crystal of some kind. The altar has two sides, each large enough for a medium-sized creature. And on one side of it looks like an inanimate warforged. Come, dear, we shall sign it here. And she motions to the altar.
He's going to go over and kind of put the paperwork and pen on the altar and kind of try and step back respectfully. And,
Do you have a pen? My
yes,
dear.
kind of offers a, quill and inkwell.
And as you do that, she grabs your wrist and flips you in the air onto the altar. My name is Keelnasi. That is Keelnasi. You will know it well soon enough.
Ton.
She puts her finger on your forehead, and the blue crystal lights. And in the space it takes to have one breath escape your lips, your soul leaves your body and enters the Warforged. The body of the scribe then rises, steps off of the altar, and begins milling about the court, waiting for instructions. You see the eyes of the Warforged open as it steps down from the altar and takes a position against one of the walls. Anyone else? Come, find what immortality looks like.
This is not immortality. This is a transgression. And
Against
you
who?
hold no authority in this realm.
Who am I transgressing exactly?
The natural order of life and death.
How do you know?
I'm keen to these things.
I have been keen to these things for 1,000 years. What about you?
Tara looks to... At this point, she has not told anyone that she's a Planetar, has she?
No, but Keelnasi
Absolutely knows. Yeah.
knows. She's like, perhaps, my dear, it would be better if we did not have this argument in front of your friends.
The argument will be had.
I'm sure it will. By the way, say hello to your mistress. I do so love her.
Keep her name, her very presence, off your foul lips.
Single-minded, as you will be to the very end. Oh, Tara, 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 I have seen where you end. It is here, in this very room. I cannot wait for it.
And on that day, if I am to meet my end here, it shall be after taking you with me.
Oh. You shall see. I already have.
Corton, we done with this?
Corton looks at Tara, looks at everyone else, and he raises his hands. As he is doing so, you see Kilnasi faster than you can blink. Send darkness flying into the entire diplomatic group. Blades of pure necrotic energy erupt from her. You watch as most of the diplomatic party is immediately cut down. Goru has a black blade jutting from his stomach.
Terra immediately rushes forward and catches him.
Just as that spell goes off, you see Corton slam a prismatic wall in front of Kilnasi, shielding you from her wrath. She just smiles, looks at Corton, and says, I will see you soon. And I hope, truly, Corton, I hope that you do what is necessary to stay. The world will be lesser without you.
For the follow, Capulo.
And she takes a seat on the throne, waiting as you all sprint out of the palace. With that, the memory fades. You are back in Corton's sitting room, but Gorf especially, you remember this day. You remember when you came back from Arborea and ended in the necropolis, with the reapers surrounding you, red flowers growing out of their chests, having freed them from their servitude on the prime material plane. On that day, as you attempted to escape Nanted, a stolen wagon driven by Tara, Peregrine, and Corton, with Goru bleeding to death in the back, appeared next to you. You remember you and your friends helping them to escape back to Delver's Dream. As the forces of Kilnasi, awakened by her arrival on the plane, were sent after you. What's your reaction to having experienced that?
Gorf's gonna be like, oh, brother. We never did get the details of that. So close to losing him. And he's gonna just try not to cry, honestly.
Taking notice.
What about the rest of you?
Puts a hand on the shoulder.
Well, that was unpleasant.
And we come full circle.
Tell me about your experience feeling your soul sucked out.
It sucks. It's not a great experience.
A little unpleasant.
Yeah. There is that dawning moment of horror as he realizes, oh, the scribe is 100% not realizing what's happening here. This is not a great idea on his part.
Yeah.
You're like, cancel.
How do I stop this? How do I stop this? How do I stop time?
Why am I in a dumbass? Why?
It was very painful for a very brief moment.
Wow. So wait, do we know what the people that we ended up becoming in the scene know?
Yes.
Oh. Hey, Corton, quick question. QQ, did you know that Terra was a, you, you know, you know, you know?
But an angel?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you knew. Okay, of course you did. Of course
Yes.
you
No, I journeyed with her for more than 200 years on the prismatic sleigh.
did. I didn't know that.
We had a relationship for 70 of those years.
Oh, wow. Oh, that would explain how familial she is with you. That makes a lot of sense in context now. Thank you.
Yes, you guys missed a lot.
Yes,
Yeah.
Tara is quite a unique being in the universe. In one of our adventures when we were facing down an elder fire elemental, she attempted to grapple it in order to save us and began burning to death.
Oh.
But because she had been such an exemplary minion of Sune, Sune allowed her to be saved. So she combined Tara with the fire elemental, giving her power over both radiance, light, and fire.
That is awesome. I'm very happy she's on our side.
Absolutely. I just wish I knew where she was right now.
Well, from the sounds of things, it seemed that Kilnazi kind of had a premonition about the coming day. So, very likely she'll meet us there.
Kilnasi does not have premonitions. Kilnasi is one of the most powerful diviners in the universe. It's how she knew to leave for the Shadowfell before the end of the War of the Gods. It's how she kept herself safe. It's how she knew when to come back. She is very well informed as to what is going on in the multiverse around her. She's in fact better informed than just about anyone. It's how she managed to create a situation where we have to collect an entire continent worth of armies in order to face her.
Wait, so at least she's only able to see the future. She's not able to change it, I hope.
I mean,
Well-
definitionally, if you can see the future, you can change the future. That is
Yeah.
what
Unless
acting
we-
in the present
I think
does.
it's how it works.
I mean,
It is the definition
Unless-
of
from her from how she speaks, it seems that things are pretty deterministic.
Well, no, she said there that she hopes Corton does what it takes to do the thing to survive, which means that the future she sees isn't deterministic.
But she also
That
said
does
she knows
say-
when Terra would die and where.
Yes, but she also thought that teleporting in front of us on top of Jarsai was going to go great for her.
Or she
there
knew
are
that it was
clearly
going.
flaws to the future sight here, even when it was juiced with the abilities of a solar.
Yeah, we've been thwarting her for a while now.
The historical issue with diviners is that they have incredible ability to see the future and often have very important blind spots that result in horrible things happening to them. It is by far a more common tale than diviner tells the future and it works out at all for anyone.
So let's be the blind spot. Are we the blind
Yes.
spot, Corton? Please tell us
Which,
we're the blind spot.
Well, it's not so much that you are a blind spot as you could be an impediment.
Vitamin's good. That's
What is
good.
that?
I think I think perhaps we should travel to the next memory Cartle.
Oh, there's more. Oh,
Yes.
Oh boy.
Right.
This one takes place while you were all off in Gehenna, obtaining the Black Bulwark.
I mean, that was technically Hunter's Harvest, but you know,
Oh,
that gives us a
well,
timeline. Around that time, whatever we were doing at that point, who knows? I don't remember.
It was time for me to take care of a few things. Cartle, if you would, and you see the orrery begin to move again. First thing you feel in this memory is cold, burning, biting cold. Corton stands alone. In the midst of a palace made of ice. Tell me, Malik, in this memory, did you give your soul up willingly, or was it forced?
I think willingly. Let's go with
Willingly. You are one of Mephistopheles' pet wizards, researching arcane secrets like hellfire and rime frost, elements that will get past the pesky immunities of the denizens of the lower realms and allow Mephistopheles dominion once again. Corton has entered the throne room. You are to the side, continuing to experiment. Tell me, what are you working on?
Can we get back to that in a moment?
Absolutely, we can. As this fabulous wizard is attempting to surreptitiously listen in on what's happening without seeming like they are listening,
Yeah.
Corton approaches throne of Mephistopheles. Mephistopheles, dapper and well-dressed in a three-piece suit, looks at Corton, says, "You know, I've worked with Glacier for many years. I think there very well could be a little something here in this negotiation. I think it would be simply delightful if Asmodeus's little daughter was reacquainted with her first, what would she be? A sister? A mother?" Corton looks over at him. "I believe in this situation it would be mother. She was torn from her essence at the end of the Dawn War. Barash, Nala, Mephistopheles' head spy, stands next to the throne, eyeing everything. And on the other side of the throne, in a cage of enchanted adamantia, is Nemesis, the goddess of memory. Tell me, Crow, did you give up your soul willingly, or was it taken from you?"
Was taken from me.
You stand a ways away, close to the door. You're an ice demon guarding the throne room, having worked your way up through the ranks and made your way to Cania, and having found service in the halls of Mephistopheles. Tell me, what are you thinking right now as all of this is going on?
I was wondering why the hell the boss wants to do business with this goddamn mortal to begin with.
You are especially upset at this mortal because your best friend, who you've been guarding with across the Nine Hells for a couple thousand years now, was killed very readily by Corton when you tried to stop him from entering.
Fucking bastard.
Absolutely. As the conversation continues, Corton says, yes, I know very well that you want to depose Asmodeus. I think that is quaint. After all, you've been doing it for, what, 20, 30,000 years now? Still haven't managed? Mephistopheles sort of harumphs a bit at Corton and says, matters not, it'll happen eventually. But this will be fun in the meantime. If you can manage to get her, I believe she is a bracelet now that Loth converted her into a little piece of jewelry, which is amazing. If you can get that into the well, I think that will suit us beautifully. But it will not be enough to get you what you want. You will have to sweeten the deal, as it were. In Gorf, did you give up your soul willingly, or was it forced?
I think willingly.
You are a rival to Malik's wizard.
Yeah.
What are you working on right now?
He's working on a more advanced subtle spell. Or not a spell, but a way where non-sorcerers can cast spells without verbal or somatic components, to level the playing field for those that weren't born into magic and that it can be learned.
Absolutely. So you are in fact developing, mechanically that would be a feat that you are developing.
And
for
he
wizards.
tests it by occasionally shooting little annoying spells at his rival Malik and seeing if he notices.
What the guy Malik is working on.
Nice.
Namely, he's working on a countermeasure for this, specifically to try and make his rival's development obsolete.
And we're racing to see.
Oh my god. Absolutely.
A feat that allows you to see subtle spell. I love it.
Yeah. It allows you to see what people are casting before they manage to finish casting it.
You are, tell me how you are planning to accomplish that.
I think it's basically like a reaction divination thing where you'd see what someone's casting and then you could choose whether or not you're going to try and do a countermeasure to it or otherwise preempt it.
So I love this. So it's a counter spell that gives you like a plus 15 to your Arcana check to see if you know.
Yeah.
I love that. Do you counter this little annoying spell that is being sent?
I think, let's see. I think he specifically lets it go so that he can hide how far he's getting along with his own work.
And my guy's like super smug about it. He's like,
does it Does it hurt you?
Almost certainly.
As this spell strikes you, you see Barash Nala, the blue-skinned tiefling, stride purposefully across the room to your rival as she grasps him by the arm and says, "We are in the middle of a delicate negotiation. What are you doing?"
Oh, sorry, ma'am. It was a test. It won't happen again. I promise.
Well, here is a test for you. And she just starts smacking you in your face until you are on the ground. And then she keeps smacking you until there is a sizable puddle of blood underneath you. She then twists her fingers, casting a spell that coalesces your blood into a blade. She says, "Oh, good. It worked. The next time you interrupt, I will use this to end you. And then you'll become what? You'll become a filthy little lemure without a thought in your head, won't you? And you will spend thousands and thousands of years trying to get back to this very spot."
Yes, ma'am.
So she then walks away, back to the throne. Ethul, did you give up your soul willingly, or was it forced? Ethul, my dear, are you muted?
It was
Maybe.
taken,
Oh.
and please tell me I was the guard that Corton killed to get in here.
I want to be dead.
My friend.
It absolutely was. Yeah, 100%. You and Crow were like best friends for thousands of years. And because you were killed, unfortunately what that means is that you have been converted back to a lemure. So you are like a giant slug with a people face now.
Oh.
And you then just instinctively have just appeared in the throne room, taking up your place on the other side of the door, thinking that you're still a guard.
I just come in, I just kind of give like a what's up nod to Crow.
Bro looks over and is just like forlorn. Just absolutely, my heart, like my blackened, like non-existent dust of a heart, just further crushed and like sunken into my stomach.
Mephistopheles, feeling this, because it is his realm, it's just like, I thought that you had learned better than this. Does your heart ache for your friend?
Not all, sir. Why would it ever?
Are you lying to me?
Yes.
Yes, you are. Well,
I
he
apologize for
just
my
goes, and you literally feel your heart in your chest freeze and crumble to ice. You fall to the ground, and you feel yourself changing and shifting, as you are now a lemure as well, having to start at the bottom. You see two
You can be
ice
friends
devils
again.
step in, pick each of you up, literally throw you up against a wall, so that you two end up in a sort of gross pile in the corner of the throne room. Yeah, absolutely.
Mad wise.
best friends for life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You two would have made the Budweiser slogan.
See, but the thing is that was actually a kindness from Mistopheles, honestly.
We were together again at last.
Yeah.
I mean, you think it's a kindness. We'll see. As this is happening, the conversation continues. Corton, just with a deep sigh that you know so well, just, what do you want, Mephistopheles? And Mephistopheles puts a hand on Barash's shoulder, says, now, I cannot have one, but Barash can. And I think perhaps something having to do with ice or water would be lovely. Don't you think so, Corton? Don't you think she would look fabulous in a brand new touchstone? Corton looks at her and says, oh, fine. I think there's one left. As far as I'm aware, I think Leviathan might. Oh, yes, damn it. The hags are here for Shark Week. Leviathan should be available shortly. Come with me back to the prime material. We can get it for you. Now, Mephistopheles, the contract. Mephistopheles, out of thin air, pulls a contract that seems to be carved into ice, floating in the air. Yes, yes, yes. You shall have her back. Oh, fine. You see Corton press his finger against the contract, and you watch the front of his finger start to get covered in frost and then turn black, and as he pulls it away, he leaves just a touch of his skin there. And as he does so, Nemesine's cage pops open. You both may go with my blessing. Barash, go with them. Make sure you get what you have been promised. Tell me, when the two wizards see this, what do they do?
Have they left yet?
You see them walking out, Nemesine, Barash, and Corton.
As soon as they breach the threshold of the doorway, he is going to give the other wizard a brain freeze.
Nope.
Yeah.
Meetings are over. You're fucked.
As soon as they the first possible second he thinks that it doesn't count anymore, he's gonna do it.
I love it. That's exactly what they would do. I mean,
Yeah.
And this time, I go for the attempt to counterspell it.
Imagine if it's not like a counterspell, but it's a Uno reverse card. It's like magical
Oh,
feedback.
shit.
Just badoosh.
Oh, thank you for the host, Last Omnitech.
Oh, fabulous.
Hey.
Thank you. You're awesome.
You.
There is, yes, absolutely. The spell rebounds.
Oh, it was a really bad brain freeze.
Yeah.
You just chugged a whole Slurpee. Oh,
Yeah.
What was that?
Ooh, you seem to be having some problems with your new project.
Shut up. I just ate a bunch of ice cream. Fuck you. No, it's working perfectly. This is exactly. Too much ice cream.
It's so good in this realm.
Absolutely.
It's hard not to eat a lot of it.
You see out of the corner of your eye, Mephistopheles just sort of like point a finger, and the last thing you feel is your head's being chopped off by the new guards. And you are back in Corton's study. There is the two wizards. You both have actually learned something from these memories. You get to keep something delightful. Gore, you now can take the feat if you want to. It allows you to cast incredible subtle spells
Oh
all the
shit.
time. And Malik now knows the spell, and I'll create this
Arcane rebound.
well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it a spell where it is going to be, you get like a plus 15 on your Arcana check, or I'll make it. You know what? I'll make it a plus 10. A plus 10 on your Arcana check to immediately, as a reaction, identify any spell, including subtle spells, what's about to happen,
That's so
and
dope.
then you can counterspell it if you want to as part of that reaction. And with that plus 10, if you get 30 or higher on your roll for Arcana, you can make the spell rebound on its
That is
original
awesome.
factor. So it will be difficult to do very difficult to do at lower levels, but potentially at higher levels, you will have a counter spell that rebounds things. So
Mikey in chat? What?
Oh,
What's
what's up? Oh, Mike's in chat.
Yeah.
What's up,
Oh.
Mike? What up?
sorry, what's happening?
No,
What's
Mike.
going on?
Mike's in chat.
Oh,
You
hi,
You
Mike.
just-
Fabulous. All right.
Just quick question and just a clarification thing. That has no effect on like his interaction with spells during rage, right?
No.
Okay, cool. I figured.
There is, but what you have just seen is when Barash gained her touchstone, when she gained power over Leviathan. But you've also seen that Mnemosyne is free, the goddess of memory.
I'm just gonna, as Crow kind of recovers from real, like, being very overjoyed that he's no longer demonic goo, looks over, like, before he goes to Corton, looks to Azul and it just kind of like grabs his hand and like pulls him in for like a brotherly embrace. It's like, that was real. And then turns to Corton. Wait, so you were making deals to get the touchstones to more people?
No, I was making a deal to free a goddess who was a potential ally.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah,
That
I mean,
makes
Just clarifying that. That makes way more sense.
Learned a bit there, albeit I believe mostly not what we were trying to learn.
Oh, did you learn
Going-
something too?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
It was useful information nonetheless, though.
I would be more worried
It explained a
about
few questions I had.
I would be more worried about whatever Mephistopheles was planning if he was killing fewer of his own dudes. I feel like there's a degree of counterproduction there.
Oh, absolutely. But
Yeah.
you also, from the memories of the wizard, like there are entire cities that Mephistopheles has set up where there are thousands of mages that have made deals with Mephistopheles to come down to Cania and get to research magic forever. You are by no means
Got it.
the only one.
Small
You-
fish in a massive ocean.
Yes.
There's Mephistopheles, though. You also you have also seen the fact that Corton may have manufactured the issues in Arborea in order to get Glacia into the Fountain of Youth.
Yeah, that was another thing that I meant to make mention of, but I forgot along the way, which is like how much have you been planning behind the scenes here? Like, how much of what has gone on has been a part of, like, what end are you trying to get to? Is this all
I'm trying to get to the end that allows the people in Delver's Dream to survive. Not because they are special in some way, but because this can become the seed that grows across the planet.
The more and more I figure out and like about you and how much dedication you put in this, the more I like you. Also, the more I hate the other guy. Like, I was wrong when I first came here. I thought like he was about it and that you were just some stuck-up asshole. Apologies for all of that. But like, really and truly, you've been putting in way more work for the betterment of Delvers than that asshole. Like, what the fuck? God, I understand when you're upset just now.
Are you still talking?
I'm sorry. I'll stop. We should probably go to the next memory, right? Yeah.
Well, to answer your other question, for every time I have said, you do not know what's going on, that was a time that I was setting things up for what is about to happen tomorrow. I sent people to Gehenna to get the Black Bulwark to protect this. I took control of the throne of the Dwarven Kings in order to maintain order here in Delvers. All of the touchstones that have been recovered and brought here are here so that they may be used in the battle to come. Now, the final memory that you need to see if you're going to remember what happened sadly cannot come from the orrery. And you see a blue-skinned goddess, stunning, wispy, step into the room and say, Corta, this is when I'm supposed to be here, yes? This is the time? Corton says yes. Everyone meet Nemesine, the goddess of memory.
Hello.
It's an honor.
Hi.
Cordial bow.
Also a cordial bow.
As she enters the room, you begin to just remember things all the way back to your birth. Memories that you haven't thought of in decades suddenly just start popping into your brain here and there. She heads over to Relic and touches Relic's arm, and you see the blue crystal begin to glow. She says, well, can't wait to get this back, but... And you realize why this thing is called the memory of Nemesine. It is literally the memory of the goddess of memory, a multiplanar being. It contains all the information in the universe. And that's why you had to complete the Orrery of the Traveler in order to navigate. You needed an artifact level item to actually navigate the memories inside. But she touches the crystal. She says, it will be a little bit of a shift. Prepare yourself. you find yourself floating in the void, surrounded by a crystal sphere. You are the gods tasked with creating the first worlds. You know that this was the final crystal sphere to be created, and you were placed here to create the first worlds. For this crystal sphere would lead the rest. It would determine the course of the music of the spheres, the song that is the history of the multiverse. You see yourself, Ithul. Which god are you?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's a question.
I mean, I guess Sune.
All right. You are Sune, the goddess of love, creating a world that is beautiful and kind. A world filled with Kalishtar, who are psychic, so there shall never be anything but honesty between them, for love cannot exist where there is not trust. And in a world where everyone knows what everyone else is thinking, trust is never a problem. Tell me what you do to craft this world.
Now, above, this is the material plane, right?
It is. You are crafting.
Okay.
You have been tasked with crafting the world here, as have the rest of you. On Sune's world, the world of love. Tell me, what do you create?
Well, first off, obviously we gotta start with, you know, the soft dirt for bunnies to dig in and run around on. And then we gotta give it a nice, you know, warm sun so that they can enjoy it to the fullest, and so that the dirt can grow grass and plants.
It's beautiful. What else?
And we're gonna carve out nice sections, and with tears of joy fill the oceans.
That's true. The oceans of the planet of Sune, which was the Kalishtar homeworld, were made of pure joy. Tell me, Crow, which god are you?
Ra.
Thra.
Ra.
Survival. Yes. Tell me of your world, of the world of the orcs and the changelings, where the undead roam place as servants.
This shall be a world where strife and conquest determines who rules. No song, even one for the universe, can be complete without a little bit of tragedy. And so, I shall make the wilds great and vast, unruly, untamed. In order to live, you must be willing to kill. And those who cannot shall either be subjected to the will of others, or fall and rise again as servants of the undead. Such is my will.
Tell me, Malik, which god are you?
Baal, god of murder.
Ooh, we have not explored Baal. I'm very curious to know just what Baal creates as their perfect world.
I think Baal creates a world. Let's see. Baal's world is, I think, eventually becomes one of the hells. It is a world of a constant war of everyone against everyone else, where all alliances are temporary, and your goal, either now or in 10 minutes' time or in a year's time, is to gain power by taking it from the corpses of everyone around you. It's one where you can't trust, and one where you can't hope for anything better than surviving the next outbreak of violence. It is deeply
Absolutely.
unpleasant.
What does the landscape look like?
The landscape is lush. There are lots of places to hide. There are lots of resources to make new weapons and ways to hurt each other out of. It would be great if only everyone in it wasn't such a complete prick.
Classic.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And finally, Gorf, what god are you?
Oh, it's gonna be Balnor.
Tell me about your world, the world of nature and awakened animals.
Balnor looks at this world and sees the condition of the unawakened animals and how the only thing that they can do or think about is survival and procreation and to multiply. And he sees this and he mourns for the things he has created. And he realizes that if he were to lift them up, that they could work together to create something beautiful. So as he raises each species of animal, he imbues them with traits unique to them that will benefit society as a whole. To the bear folk, he gives strength and hearts of fire and passion. To the Leonin, he gives logic, reason, cunning. To the mouse folk, he gives craftiness. He gives subterfuge and deception. And, I won't go on all of them, but, you get the idea.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. I wanted to do 3.
Absolutely. Valinor is busy. Valinor is definitely busy. Sune and Baal, goddess of love, god of murder, one whose world requires never to trust anyone, one whose world requires that you trust everyone. What do you think of each other's planets?
Horrific monstrosities.
Don't tell me, tell him.
They're all good starting points. You just need to make everyone in them significantly shittier. But the worlds themselves, great play. I'll get to them eventually.
What's the point of a great
Some
world if
sooner than
everything
others.
kills everything else?
Like, I haven't figured out how to deal with the entire Sune hive mind thing, or like the entire universal empathy thing, but there's definitely a way in, and I'm sure it'll explode gloriously once I figure it out.
Ooh. We will
Yes,
get
and
to that
how
in
many
just a
millions will be sacrificed in that experiment, I wonder.
There's we will get to that. Now we have the god of survival and the god of essentially evolution discussing with each other the worlds that they've created.
Because they kind of really are opposites.
Yes, and what you have done to your world is, frankly, disgusting. You coddle your creations. You give them wisdom and power and deception. These are things they must earn, things they must acquire by the slings and arrows of life. You are too soft on your people. You have no faith in their ability. And for that, they shall grow to be self-centered and self-entitled.
Will they?
They have lived for thousands and thousands of years as they were. They lived and died and were created again in the cycle that you hold so highly. I would give them a chance to break that cycle, to give them a choice to live differently. Would you live merely only for your own survival? Don't live at all.
And what shall happen when you no longer give them these things? When your absence falters, they shall descend back to the trenches that you have worked so hard to raise them from, and I shall laugh.
I have given them all the start they need to move forward on their own. I have given them all the tools that they will need
We shall
to
see.
not only survive, but to thrive.
And as this conversation continues, we fast forward a few thousand years. For the gods, it's not much time at all. It's just a blip. But as you look down at the worlds, you see that the populations have exploded. Their entire worlds are now filled with life. As gods, you can sense what that is doing to the sphere. The crystal sphere seems to be not creating music on its own, but absorbing the experiences of everyone living inside them and expanding them and sending them out to sing in harmony with the other spheres out in the universe. Each sphere informed by the people and the planets within them, each contributing something meaningful and beautiful to the harmony of the universe. As gods, though, this is just a background. You understand that this is something that's happening. You get prayers all the time. This is just how the universe works. Oh, you have found a way in.
Excellent.
Oh no.
A fabulous race of creatures called mind flayers that have powerful psionic ability. Tell me, how do you introduce them and allow them to gain a foothold on Sune's love-filled world?
I think this is probably one of the big early acts of a god just straight up intruding on someone else's domain. And a lot of it's born of frustration, because like the mind flayers are his way in, but they're not the sort of creature he likes, because definitionally they're all like linked by these elder brains in these big communities, and they're all too trusting of each other. And his entire thing is like, or like, they're not trusting of each other, they compete with each other a lot, but they aren't as self-destructive as he wants them to be. So he's kind of annoyed that he has to use these to get what he wants.
Well,
In his
Sune's annoying.
Yeah. And in his frustration and his general, like, annoyance with Sune, he just straight up, like, he sets up a Mind Flayer colony on his planet. And it balloons pretty quickly because everyone else hates each other and they're not, like, uniting against them. They're stabbing each other too much. And then he just straight up bridges his two Sunes and kind of forces this connection open for a few days. And the Mind Flayers go through, and you have these telepathic predators that prey on the empathy that links Sune's creature together, going in and attacking that connection, and also spreading a bunch of the murderous impulse they've picked up on his little hell world into this connection of empathy, thereby making, like, turning it against each other and turning the fact that these are free-willed mortals and introducing the urge to murder into this paradise. Even once the immediate threat of Mind Flayers is dealt with, some of that fundamental trust is broken, and you're seeing at least occasional murders. However this goes, it's win-win for me.
Absolutely. Tell me, Sune, what was so distracting that you didn't notice Mind Flayers popping up on your planet?
Probably, one of my many flings with the other gods, as I do gotta spread the love even to other gods.
Absolutely, that's important. Who were you visiting this time?
Oh, God, what's it? What? The dwarf god. We just keep.
Moradin.
Absolutely.
That little scamp.
Yep.
Ladies like them small.
I love it. As you begin to watch the illithid spread across your world, you watch as your Kalishtar become more and more militant. They begin their beautiful towns that were very pastoral, where everybody had huge yards and grew their own vegetables, and there were plenty of space for bunnies. Suddenly are walled off, built higher and steeper, with only one gate to enter, guarded 24 hours a day. Rooms, palaces even, with only the one entrance, so that anyone who is suspicious might be destroyed immediately before they can enter. You see your world of light and love get darker and darker and darker. What do you do to get back at this little bastard?
This degradation of my world is absolutely unacceptable, and for now, she's going to focus her spite mostly on the Mind Flayers, and hold her spite for the progenitor for a later date. But what she's going to do is, seeing the monstrosities plaguing her realm, she is going to, with her magic, immediately remove their ability to feel any sort of positive emotions. And then she's going to strip the creatures of their ability to reproduce on their own, forcing them to rely on the bodies of others to recreate themselves. And then she's going to scatter every single one of them across the multiverse.
Wow, I made the Mind Flayer.
Yeah.
Val is so happy. This is so much better than he could have imagined.
Yeah, that was like
It's like, "Ah, everything Yeah, what? Yeah,
You
baby!
took
Fuck
everything
yeah!
I didn't like about my little dudes, and you got rid of it and made it better.
That's a big
Genuine
L for
thanks.
Sune.
Big L for Sune.
Is this gratefulness?
Is this what feeling thankful is like? Holy hell!
Love it. You watch as the mind flayers that have been now scattered throughout the universe, or at least throughout this solar system. You see colonies springing up on several other worlds now. And you see on the world of the god of destruction, a world of dragons, of constant battle and resurgence, of giant volcanoes and meteor impacts. Colonies of mind flayers showing up and converting those dragons into elder brain dragons. The god of destruction sees this, sees the cycle of destruction ending, because as the dragons become controlled by elder brains, they stop fighting amongst each other. And being short-sighted, as he is, he looks to you, Sune, blaming you for this. Looks down at his world, thinking, God damn it. I do not like this toy anymore. This is no longer a fun plaything. And he picks up the planet in his hand and slams it into you, Sune. As you raise your hand to defend yourself from this unexpected attack, you feel an entire mountain range slice through your palm, creating a hole that goes right through. That act, while just a second to you, was 50 years on these planets. And that is the beginning of the War of the Gods. Planets used as weapons against each other, as the God of Wisdom stands by, waiting. And only when these worlds have begun shattering does he reach out and pluck shards of these worlds from the sky, saving just a sliver of each, so that some small part of each world will survive this cataclysm. As you each join the fight, one after the other, your rage builds and builds and builds. And eventually, you unleash the true power of your divinity. Each god at the same time, each at every other god. And it is enough to shatter the crystal sphere. You watch this indestructible object separate, crack, and explode. You see 42 pieces begin floating through the void, each piece shining. And you hear the dissonance, the utter destruction that you have caused. The song, the music of the spheres has been disrupted. It is made dissonant. you realize you have just made the time of troubles. Many of you are cast down without your divinity across the plains to wander as mortals, to come back as gods if you can survive. Many of you will not. And in the center of all of this lies the patchwork planet, created by the god Wisdom, who ignited his very soul to create a new sun. You come back as Nemesine releases you from the memory. What did you learn?
The gods are petty.
They are.
Baal is a dick.
This is very true.
I guess in his own way, you could say that what he did was love us, but like, Thra getting like completely and utterly hands off. Like, he showed no care for what was going on there. Like, in fact, he made things actively worse for us. Like, what the hell?
You all also gain the understanding of just what these planar touchstones are. You saw that even Moradin can't destroy one. They are fundamental aspects of the song. And as you are having this discussion, you feel another chunk of the reef of glass, another chunk of the crystal sphere slide into place. You also realize what that means is someone else who is attuned to one of the touchstones has arrived on the patchwork planet.
Sorry, did you say earlier that the gods became mortals and were on the plane, or did I mishear that or misunderstand?
Yeah, so that's specifically a reference to Forgotten Realms lore. There's something called the Time of Troubles when the gods were cast down and made mortal, and some of the gods died in that mortal form, including Baal.
Yeah, this was all going great for Baal right up until that moment.
Gotcha, okay.
Up until, he fucking died.
Big spike
Yeah,
in murder,
Sune
and then he got gone.
Sune really took the biggest L here. Like,
Yeah.
Sune
caused
may
all
have
this?
very craftily arranged his death.
Yeah.
So
He just had to, sail all of the multiverse down the river with him.
So
now,
just make sure.
Well, she considered it an insult because she made his creatures dependent on other creatures to survive.
Absolutely. Which I love. I love that Sune is the reason that the mind
Yeah.
Are the worst.
That
is very full circle.
Yeah,
for, like,
no,
the
imagine how I just made a Thule feel.
Oh,
Right.
God.
Yeah,
Now,
right.
as you are thinking about these things, you also come to terms with the fact that it feels almost complete. You can tell that the crystal sphere around you is almost complete. Corton stands up, thanks Nemesine, says, "There's only one more. They will be here soon." Yes. Let's finish their sentences.
if I'm putting the information together correctly, this crystal sphere was originally made as like kind of a nexus for the song, amplifying it to the rest of the multiverse and all the other worlds, which is why it's so important. And as parts of the song embodied, when all of these are put together, when the Wreath of Glass is like linked together properly with all of the touchstones, then it will do that once more, meaning whoever is kind of ascendant here will have an outsized effect on the rest of the multiverse, if I'm just putting together what you've been putting down correctly.
Yes.
Oh,
Which means
In
if
fact-
Kilnasi wins, the thing broadcast out to the rest of the multiverse is
Well,
deeply unpleasant Lich Queen and with
it depends.
mm,
It truly depends. The crystal sphere will not be whole immediately. It will take time for it to completely heal itself. As far as I have read in Kilnasi's notes, that time will be 1 year.
right.
And in that year, the holders of the touchstones will determine the rest of the history of the multiverse. It is not enough to defeat Kilnasi. This is why I have told so many who have come through Delvers that our little fight with Kilnasi means almost nothing in the grand scheme of things. There are 42 touchstones. Each one will soon be far more powerful because all of them will be here on this planet. There's one other thing that you should know. Something is going to happen tomorrow. Something that will affect all of us. And when it does, you must be prepared for it. I cannot tell you what it is, because if I do, Kilnasi will be able to find out and counter it. But understand, there is a plan. And while it might not be mine, I think it will work.
Well, we've been putting our trust in you so far. No need to throw it back on that now. Like I said, I trust you.
Then it's time. It's time to get to Nanked. Are you ready?
ready as I can be.
Quick question. Did I ever have a chance to do that thing I sent you a message about last week?
Oh God, that was last week, honey. I've had 70.
Refresh our memories.
Yeah, that is not a great question to ask.
That creation of mine that I was going to make with that liquid creation Thule one.
Yeah.
You would not have had time. No.
Okay.
You will probably have time after. But that's a problem for season 3, not
Yeah.
season.
All right.
So yes, are you prepared?
More prepared than I've been for anything in all of my life.
Corton bows to Cartel and Nemesine, and Relic thanks them, and then steps into the circle, snaps his fingers, and you find yourself outside the gates to the city of Nonked, or the country of Nonked, the capital of the country of Nonked, the city of Kalamundra.
Time to get my home back.
Go.
You stare at this beautiful city. Straight lines, crisp curves, everything painted a beautiful shining white. So that every colored accent seems to glow with promise. You recognize it from the memory of your flight from this same place. And you see, lining the main thoroughfare, dozens, if not hundreds, of 30-foot tall shadows. You see a bird fly too close to one and watch as it withers to dust,
Oh, fuck.
simply by appearing near it. Corton looks behind you. Listen, do not go anywhere near these things. They are some of the most powerful undead in the multiverse. Simply by looking at you, they can paralyze you. They can suck the life out of you at any moment. The fact that they have not done so yet means we should be safe as long as we walk down the center of this street. Do any of you stray from that path?
Nope.
Very clear instruction.
Yeah. There's no room to misinterpret that.
Yeah. Crow takes out Beha, summons him.
Which one is Beha? That
Beha is the radiant
Radiance.
drink. Yes.
As soon as you do that, you watch 10 of these things all just look towards the Drake,
Oh, shit.
and the Drake just explodes.
Oh, fuck.
I like immediately like dash, like grab it as it, the talon falls from the sky.
All right.
Absolutely.
I'll summon you again later, buddy. Too soon.
As you begin walking up the thoroughfare, you see just how many of these things there are. You head towards the palace, beautifully appointed. You remember it exactly as it is, from the memory. Corton guides you inside, from the front gates to the throne room. Just as you enter, you see Kilnasi, the Lich Queen, pick up a changeling and throw them towards an open door. There is something strange about this. It seems the darkness behind the door is almost solid, terrifyingly so. As the changeling moves into that darkness, one of the 30-foot tall creatures emerges.
Oh.
slowly step inside. You see what look like changelings in the galleries, in the balconies, and you realize there is something strange. They are no longer changelings. There are dozens and dozens of liches lining the throne room. At the center of the throne room, arguing with Kilnasi, you see what looks like a vampire, a warrior. Do you recognize a scholar? And you recognize a drow from Delver's Dream, Diraxis. Corton, seeing the emergence of this monster, runs into the throne room, screaming at Kilnasi to stop what she's doing. She just smiles and laughs. Corton, dear, you may not know it in just this moment, but soon I see it all unraveling, dear. And when it has done, you will know this is for the best. The dream of a multiverse without pain or fear or gods to screw things up. That's all I want. But I'll do whatever I need to make it happen. And all of you fall to your knees as you feel the final piece of the crystal sphere slide into place. Each of you suddenly aware of the fact that the crystal sphere is whole, that the year starts today. And so curious about who was the final one to join the fight. Perhaps things shall be revealed if you can survive the finale of season 2.
Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah!
Ah!
I love it.
What a great session.
Well, thank you everybody for being here. We're going to do a couple of things right now. First thing we're going to do is everybody hit !raffle so that you can be entered to win some fabulous Phoenix dice. We love Phoenix dice. They make everything from recycled materials because they love the world we live in just as much as all the worlds we play in. And I would like to thank our sponsor, Hero Forge, who that gorgeous, gorgeous character art that you see on your screen right this very moment. Very excited about that. And now, while everyone is entering the raffle, we are going to do favorite moments. Yay! Let's start with you, Athul. Hey, Athul, what was your favorite moment from today? Also, chat, what was your favorite moment today? We want to hear from you. Hey, Athul.
I would say best moment was seeing everybody create a planet.
Oh yeah.
That made me so happy.
That was cool.
How often do you get to do that, do you think?
I'm in DMs like all the time. Such a point.
What about you, Crow? What was your favorite moment?
Top of the order was absolutely going to be same as the Thule, everyone making the planet. Right below that would be everything that happened during the second memory. Like the banter between the two mages.
That was great.
With the ice double guards. Like, it was great.
That made me very, very happy.
Yeah.
What about you, Corp? What was your favorite moment?
My favorite moment was when I came up with the thing I was researching, and then Malik immediately was like, "No, I'm your rival. I'm gonna do something to say fuck you," which is so great. I love it.
Reverse card.
He's like, "I don't even care what I'm just being petty," and it was so good.
I love it.
So good.
Blue Box Madman says the blood dagger.
Oh, yeah.
From their blood
The blood
was their
dagger
favorite.
pretty good.
Absolutely.
That was great.
Yes, 100%. What about you, Malik? What was your favorite moment?
The entire like mind flayer plot to Sune's reaction.
Yeah.
was
Yes.
The cycle of violence just escalating.
Cycle of
Incredible.
violence. The fact that Sune, the goddess of love, is kind of to blame for all of the war. Alongside, of course, the god of war, who was just
Well, the god of
Absolutely.
murder.
overjoyed at everything that was happening. The god of murder. My mythologies.
Absolutely. We also have a vote for the getting slammed into the wall sound effects.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were something else.
Those were delightful. Absolutely. And we are going to pick a fabulous winner to the raffle in just a second. A reminder to everybody, remember, we have our Magnificent Mythologies on Friday where we do fabulous things like create an entire one-shot adventure right in front of you on stream. And then on Sunday, we have our Wonders of the World. This week, we are going to be working on planar touchstones. So if you want to learn more about those, come and join us on Sunday. Then on Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, I guess. We are going to be having the season finale of season 2. Come and see the world change forever. I cannot wait to reveal all the
So
crazy.
Fucking nuts.
And now, stick around for our raid after we figure out who wins some fabulous
gonna
dice.
win?
All right, here we go, closing it up, and the winner is
Get with it.
Concani Unicorn.
Yay!
Congrats.
Send me a note in Discord and we will hook you up with some fabulous, fabulous dice. And with that, we are going to raid our friend Mendari, who is part of our Rolling Together stream team, who we love. And when we go a raiding, we tell them what we are bringing to the potluck is what we do. I want to know, what are y'all bringing to the potluck?
Brain freeze.
Concept
Absolutely.
of murder.
The concept of murder.
Me
It was such a
two
nice
little
potluck
more
until
friends.
then. Like,
Two little than your friends. So it's two gooey boys.
absolutely, two gooey boys. That's what we need at the potluck. Absolutely. What about you, Athul? What are you going to bring?
Just an ocean of joy.
An ocean of joy.
Everybody loves an ocean of joy. It's delightful.
Pure
Athul's
liquid,
new-
just
going to
just
incorporate that.
pure straight from the tap,
There's definitely going to be like some sort of like underwater cavern that's filled with that water, and it's the only bit of Sune's tears that are left.
And also, Athul, if you do not make a new cocktail called Ocean of Joy, I'm gonna be sad. I'm also gonna be disappointed, really.
Absolutely, it's got to be like a scorpion bowl type thing where like 4 people have to drink it at the same time.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love it. Thank you, everybody, so much, and we will see you soon. Mwah!
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Take care.